We are back from Italy, which was an awesome trip. And if you guys want to check that video out, tap right up here or right up there. You can see what we did. One of the most popular dishes, or one of the most highly recommended, was this braised beef oxtail dish that's super popular in Rome. It's a Roman classic. Unfortunately, we didn't have a chance to try it out because we ate a ton of other stuff, lots of pizzas, lots of pastas. So I'm going to make it at home today with my own little spin on it. This is also my very first time making oxtail, so I'm excited to try this. But here, let me show you what these guys look like. So as the name suggests, it's from the tail of an ox, and you can see kind of the cartilage and kind of bone right down the center, and you get all this meat on the outside. So this is a pretty cheap cut, but it's very tough, very tough. There's a lot of connective tissue. The meat is tough, and it just requires a long time to cook and get tender. So my idea for this cook is I'm going to season it, smoke it, and then I'm going to drop it in a Dutch oven with all those classic ingredients, tomato sauce, some vegetables, and just get it super tender. So let's get this started. For the seasoning, I'm going with my all-purpose rub, so keeping it very simple, and I'm just going to season these oxtails on all sides. I'm going to cook these guys on my Weber searwood. It's cruising at 225 degrees. I'm going to smoke them for about 2-3 hours just to get a little color, a little flavor in them. And then they're going to go in the Dutch oven to braise until super tender. Oxtails are smoking away, so now I'm going to prep my veggies. And all that you need is just 2 celery stalks, 2 carrots, and 1 small onion. To my diced up veggies, I'm going to add 28 ounces of these whole San Marzano tomatoes. I'm going to turn these into a tomato sauce, but if you're making this at home, be sure to use the San Marzano tomatoes. They're a little sweeter and less acidic than regular tomatoes, and it'll just make for a much better recipe. Wow. Just be careful when you're doing this at home. Are you kidding me? 28 ounces. Or what's left of my 28 ounces. No big deal. We'll make this work. Clean up the mess here. Oh my gosh. To this mix, I'm gonna add some minced garlic and about 1 cup of white wine. If you don't want to cook with wine, you can just leave it out or add water. Smelling good already. This whole thing is going on the smoker next to my oxtail. This will start to soften up the veggies and add a little bit more smoky flavor to it. So traditionally when they do this in Rome, they sear the oxtails, then they go in the Dutch oven with the veggies, and it all kind of cooks that way. But we're going to start it on the smoker, give it a little bit of that extra smoky flavor, and I'm going to see how it all comes out. It's been about 2 hours. Oxtails have been smoking, so let's take a look. Wow, look at that. Beautiful color on the outside. Our braising liquid is smelling really nice too. It's already reduced down a little bit. Before I drop those guys in, I'm going to season this with some of my all-purpose rub. We're going to check for seasoning later as well, just salt and pepper. But for now, just going to add some of my AP rub. And now my oxtails go in the Dutch oven. Oh yeah. This is smelling so good, by the way. Cannot wait to try these out. I'm gonna cover the Dutch oven, close the grill, crank up the heat to 200 or 300 degrees to help speed that up, and I'm gonna leave it on until those oxtails are fork tender and starting to fall apart. There's no internal temperature I'm going for. It's basically cooking it until they start to fall apart. All right, it's been on for about 3.5 hours. The oxtails are super tender, but here, check this out. Look how pretty that looks. That sauce thickened up. That meat is just falling apart. Ooh, look at that. You can see that meat pulling off those bones. Here, let me put a couple of them right here. Oh, wow. Look, it just comes right off. Look how tender. You have a little smoke ring on there from smoking these oxtails first, and then they just come right off. They have a lot of this connective tissue and all this render down, creating this beautiful thick sauce. Gotta go for a quick test bite. Wow, nice and beefy. It has this really good tomatoey flavor from cooking in that sauce. I shredded the meat, and now I'm just gonna top it with this sauce, and look how thick this is. Oh yeah. But we're not done just yet. It's missing one last thing. Here, let me move this out of the way. Oh, look at that. That is a pretty loaf. We need some of this crusty, rustic bread for a hearty dish like that. All right, we got our bread. We've got our shredded oxtail, a little bit of this tomato sauce. I think that looks pretty good. Wow, super rich, very beefy. You get this nice, flavorful tomato sauce, the veggies, everything is very tender. Those oxtails have a really good texture and flavor to them. And then this nice, delicious rustic bread. Oh yeah. I can see why this is a very popular dish in Rome, because this is absolutely amazing. So that is that. I'm gonna finish eating this. You guys hit that subscribe button, and I will see you here tomorrow at the same time.